welcome back to Court Farm Country Estate. The grass is ready for summer silage making on home farm, so today we're going to cut, bale and wrap some silage bales before rolling in the grass ready for the next round. Let's get farming. So last time we did this with the reverse drive on this tractor, which many people pointed out to me I was doing wrong. So the way I did it was to basically reverse the mower setup on this and get it so that we had this front mower on the back and this back mower on the front, and then get it so that it was more maneuverable from that point of view. As many people pointed out, the real way to do the reverse drive is to actually do all the mowers on the back of the tractor, and then you've got full visibility and more maneuverability from the reverse drive. We don't have that kind of mower on here. This is not a reverse drive setup on these mowers. We can't put them together, so yeah, unfortunately we're not going to be able to use the reverse drive together. Let's switch over to the front one. We should be able to do that like that. Mowers down together. So yeah, today we're going to be doing a more regular setup here, and just baling this up because I don't want to have to buy a new mower and a rower, because the mowers that work with the reverse drive fully basically don't have the windrowing capability of this crosscut. So we're better off with the setup we already have. Now, as with previous cuts that we've done on here, the plan is going to be to do 2 to 3 headlands and then go across the field as we are now, doing the actual main body of the field. I think we're looking at this and previous times, I think we should be all right doing just the 2 headlands and going with that. That will speed things up a bit and keep things flowing rather nicely. I'm lifting as I come to the ends of each of these just to try and make this a bit easier on myself when it comes to that. Now, the other thing we need to do today is keep an eye on the price of the field beans. We're expecting them to either reach best price today or tomorrow. So if they hit their best price today, we absolutely want to sell those. We are currently 3 grand in the negative, but the field beans are worth a huge amount of money. So it's going to be absolutely worth our time taking a break from doing this job and going and getting those sold. So once I've got these 2 headlands done, I think what I'll do is then check the price of the field beans at that point, and we'll see where we are. Around this corner carefully, just trying to keep this as a single row, because we've had that a few times where we've not been able to do that. That's got our headlands done because I started up this corner. And the price of our field beans are going up all the time, but they've not reached the top price yet. So we're at 2,796 at the moment. We're looking for 2,889. So yeah, we're going to make 39,000 if we can hit that price. That is a huge boon to us and would be so very, very useful. So we'll keep an eye on that and see what happens. For now, though, we've got plenty of time to just cut this field and get it finished off. This is actually working really smoothly today. I'm not having any maneuverability issues at all. We've got some very nice straight lines. I completely expected this to be a bit of a chore, but I'm getting better at this. So we are going to have a good number of lines here. We're going across the slope, so that's making things easier. It looks to me like we're getting a slightly worse yield, not a massively worse, but just a hair worse off here. So we could possibly do a little better. Maybe spraying this field or putting some slurry on it would be useful. We don't have a lot of cows to produce slurry, unfortunately, but hey, they produced enough to do a single field for us, so maybe there's enough kicking around. But we'll keep an eye out and we'll see how things are doing. Now, one thing, of course, this is our 21st episode on this map, and this is planned to be a 25 episode series. So we're going to be going into the harvest next time. We'll get the harvest finished off and sorted. We will turn our fields around a bit, but as we're doing summer, or as we're doing springtime seeding on here, we won't be planting any crops in the field again this year. Then we might get one more cut out of here and maybe sell all of that together, and then finish off with a big sell-off for our final episode, just to see exactly how much money we can get together and how much of the initial loan that we can pay off on here after 2 years. That's part of the reason why we've done oats this year instead of the field beans, because the field beans, as you can see, are not going to be able to be sold off for the best price until well into next year. I don't think, though, that we're going to be able to get that much of the loan paid off. I mean, 2 full slots of silage off here is probably going to be about 160,000, which will be enough to take a big chunk out of it. If we can get maybe another 100,000 out of this year's crops, then yeah, we're going to be in a very good place. We're going to pay off a large section of the loan at the very least. So I'm hoping that that's going to be a good outcome on here. I think very much if we were to go to a 3rd year on here, so if we were to hit sort of 37 episodes, then we would probably end up paying off the entire loan. But I'm very eager with the Platinum Edition, or the Premium Edition coming out in the next couple of months, to get another series in before then. And I have an idea for another 25 episode series. We are going to go and do another survival series, I think. And have a go at the Western Wilds, which is not a map I've played yet. It is a map that is very similar in setup to No Man's Land, which we did before, and we're going to go with a similar setup. So sort of £50 in an old truck. But I'm going to put a little bit of a twist on it, which you guys will see a bit closer to the time. And I'm looking forward to having a crack at that, having a go at a survival, and see how far we get on it. We did 50 episodes on No Man's Land, but I think 25 should be more than enough with what I have planned for the Western Wild. And I think that'll be great fun leading us into the Premium Edition, which again, I'm going to do something a little bit different for that as well. Last row of this field though, and we'll cut that there, finish that off. Right, let's go switch over to our baler and get this field baled up. Before we drop these in, now that we have it, let's give these a quick wash down, clear all the muck and mud off. I want to try and clean my equipment now before I put it away, because that just is the right thing to do and really best practice. Don't need to clean the tractor because the tractor is going to continue to get muddy, but our mower definitely needs a clean. We've had a slow takeover of Massey Ferguson equipment on here. And yeah, this baler I think was the first bit. This was supposed to be a Fendt baler, and yeah, just got branded as Massey for some reason. We've got our new little Massey that's sitting in the workshop at the moment, waiting for a tire change. I think we're going to use that for karting this year. I'd like to sort of spread things out a little bit. I also have a new piece of kit I want to add to the Massey. There's a Massey Ferguson 3-point linkage that I've downloaded from the mod hub, and once we get a little bit of money in the bank, I want to go and add that. Right, let's get that down and into the field. Are we baling? We're baling. Right, onwards with some silage bales. first row now. We've got a decent number of bales off here. Last time we got a full overloader or a full trailer plus a bit, and we've got those stored for feeding our cows. I'm not sure we need to hold on to those this time. We might be able to just continue on and sell everything, especially if it's half a trailer. If it's a half a trailer, then that actually would be really useful. We got 40% of a bale in here and a few spots around the fields to pick up. I don't think there's another 40% here. Yeah, it's not a huge amount that's kicking around here. So not going to spend too long faffing about with this. Instead, let's get on to getting these picked up. So we want to wash this down as well, because we've been through the mud with it. And as I said, trying to keep everything nice and clean. So reverse it up to here. Grab our pressure washer. Give it a wash down. It's not looking too bad. We've got a lot of mud on the tires and a fair amount of dirt on the side. In general, the bale is looking pretty clean. So not much of a wash down to fix that. And we can now get this into the shed. As you can hear, the tractor's running a little bit low on fuel. Thankfully, we have some in the tank. So we will just hook that up as well. And then I want to check on the price of the field beans again. See exactly where we are with those, because again, the price is on the way up and we want to catch them at that peak. So let's just check that before we connect the bale stacker on. And field bean price has gone up to 2,851. We are just shy of that target. Yeah, we're about £500 shy of the total amount we're expecting to get. So perfect timing, I think. By the time we get this bale stacker filled up and all the bales off this field, I think we're going to be in a place where we're going to have some field beans to sell, which will put us in a great position going into this year's harvest. A second grass field would have been a really useful addition to the farm, I think. Having that extra income from the silage 4 times a year from that would have worked quite well. We've not really had the money with concentrating on getting a couple of arable fields done. So as much as I would have liked to have had that, it's not really been possible in the time we've had. I am pleased with this field though. This field has worked fairly well for us and hasn't required us to be working and what would have been an arable field otherwise, and has sort of been an extra field for our farm. I'm not going to go and cut the bit down the back of the chickens. After sort of reflecting it, the bit down by the back of the sheep. After reflecting on it, it's not really worth all the fiddliness. We get like 1 or 2 bales off there. And by the time we've gone in and out there, it's not really worth our time. Not compared to a larger field like this. So, yeah, we're just going to collect these up, take these down to the BGA, and then we'll come back and get whatever's left on this field and store for feeding our own cows. When it comes to the end of the series on here, we will probably sell off any excess silage bales, simply because we won't have need of them, and they will go quite nicely towards paying off our debt. We are 2 bales from the end, and it looks like we're just going to have 2 excess bales off here. That is surprising. But that's all we need for feeding the cows. So let's get these down to the BGA, and then we can see what the field bean price is. And if it's ready for us to sell, we can go and sell. If it's not, we can start the rolling. Before we continue, this video is brought to you in partnership with the awesome people at Apex Gaming PCs. I've teamed up with Apex Gaming PCs to create my own custom line of PCs suitable for everybody from beginner farmers to virtual farming experts. Apex Gaming PCs are offering up to $250 off your next purchase just by using my link in the description below. So go check them out. So we're crossing into the BGA. We'll get these dropped off here and ready for us to sell later. Of course, we got rid of the class that was in here. We didn't need to be spending all that money every day for a piece of equipment that was just sitting here the whole time. Especially when we got our little skid steer. We can bring the skid steer down here on the trailer that we've got and just get these silage bales down here on that, or load it up into the BGA on that. It would have been quite nice to have bought the BGA and be making money through it like that, but I'm not too fussed. We're down here, it makes us good cash all the time, and there's probably a pile of digestate in the main digestate tank at this point. But we'll get this back up to the farm. We'll pick up those last couple of bales, and then I'm going to check on the field bean price. So just 26 bales off that field in total. I've worked out why we ended up with so many more last time as we worked those fields, and that's because we got a whole load of bales off the sheep and the area at the back of the sheep. So we kind of just had another trailer's worth kicking about. That's why we've got, what, 4 rows here. Although not 4 complete rows. I want to get this trailer next to these. I'm not putting these in front because, of course, these still have to ferment. So ideally, we want them to sit beside so that we can go and feed the cows. The cows are okay at the moment for feed, so I'm not too worried about that. We've got a good amount of milk coming. We're going to sell the milk at the end of the year along with everything else. And that's those off there. Perfect. And yeah, let's give this a quick wash down, and then we can have a look at the field bean price once that's been done. So jump out, grab my pressure washer, and give it a hose down. There we go. That is looking nice and clean. Put that back, and we will disconnect this in this area here. Lives in here because this is where everything that deals with picking up the silage bales goes. Park it there because we're never going to be able to put a set of silage bales down that side. And then we'll have a look at the field bean price. It's so close. We are within 200. Yeah, just under 200, just over 200 pounds now of our best price. So let's go refill this tractor then and get the rollers out. Tractor refueled, and with the roller on the back, time to reset this field and get it going. Somebody did say that they didn't think that this actually has any effect with precision farming, that these fields didn't get prepared any quicker. The fact that it goes from harvested to first stage growth, I think it does. I think you can actually harvest 4 times a year if you roll, rather than 3 times a year with the grass fields. So to me, this is worth doing. I think you can end up getting a lot more out of your silage fields if you roll them after each cut. 3 headlands is definitely the best way to go with that. Gave me plenty of space to turn around. That is our whole field done, though, and we've got we've got this turned around and ready for a couple of months' time. So post-harvest, we should be able to cut this one more time and get another field of silage bales off it, which is great. Let's go give this a wash and put it away and see if the price for those field beans has improved any further. Roller is all clean, and so is my tractor now as well. And the field bean price has topped out. It's beginning to drop. We are looking at making over 40,000 with our environmental score, so that will be fantastic. Let's get this parked up, go and grab the trailer, and go and get them sold. This is great. This is exactly what I expected. Oh, didn't quite disconnect that. Yeah, there we go. We can get the trailer hooked up, make a whole load of money, and go into the harvest with a plus in the bank account. So we've got 13,000 litres of field bean to sell. That will easily fit in our trailer. Oh no, 12,600. This is going to take a couple of trips. Let's go and see how much this first lot makes. And the place with the best price is Town Stores. So we're up at this end again, winding our way into the sell point. Did consider going between the houses, but that's not really the right route into here. And yeah, this should net us nearly 40,000 for this load alone. We've only got about 1,000 left up at the farm. So there we are. Tip them out. How much is this going to make us? 35,466 in total, but we were slightly in the red, so 36,680 in harvest and 1,737 in environmental score. That's absolutely fantastic. Let's go get the last little bit and get this finished off. The last 1,159 litres of field beans. Get them on to the sell point here and tip them up. Didn't take too long to tip these out. Yeah, there we go. Fairly quickly out. Another 3,380 plus another 160 environmental score. We have totaled out at £39,007 after selling the field beans. Absolutely fantastic. What a great way to end for today. We'll be taking on the harvest again for the last time next time, so come join us for that. For now, though, I'm going to leave this here. So all that remains is for me to say
thank you for watching. I hope you've enjoyed this video. Please leave a like, drop us a comment, and give it a share. Special thanks to all my patrons and channel members. Your support is invaluable in making these videos and helping the channel to grow. For more from Virtual Farmer, check out the links below, follow on Twitch to watch live, and for more videos, subscribe and ring that bell. I will see you next time. Goodbye.